Some claim that the age of a true gentleman is far behind us, but here at 284 Media, we disagree. He may appear in different guises today, but the values and ideals that make him a gent still stand. Gentlemen, aspiring gentlemen, and of course our partners that hold us down. I'm Ron Grant. Welcome to Season 3 of The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. As we always say, don't worry, it doesn't always involve suits and bow ties, but real, raw life lessons that translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men. Thank you all for taking this journey with me. As promised, this season we take you on an entirely different journey. From chefs to dancers, construction experts, we're heading outside in the field to share the journey of some of the BVI's best and brightest men. From East End to West End, Virgin Gorda, Just Van Dyke, and Anegada, our Virgin Islands gentlemen are doing the damn thing. And listen, I am proud. Seacoast Bay, we here. We are in the building, baby. My guest today, a son of the soil, hails from the third. He's a father, a husband, a friend, the homie himself. He's a firefighter, and along with his lovely wife, caters to the culinary needs of Virgin Islanders with their exquisite and tasteful cuisines. Gold-plated, that's the name. He's humble, hardworking, honest, and the life of the party. A true family man. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me an honor, absolute privilege to introduce the distinguished gentleman himself, Mr. Delani Fraser, a true 21st century distinguished gentleman. We're going to chop it up and have some fun. Join us after a word from our sponsors. Let's go. Brilliant Hands and Minds Tutoring Services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals. Viewers, welcome back. As promised, I am here with the man himself, the one and only Delani Fraser. Delani, thank you so much and welcome to the Art of a Distinguished Gentleman.
Man, it's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Ooh, that tastes like Hannah Fresh Water.
Hannah Fresh Water is who?
That's my uncle's water company.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been in the business from the time I grew up. One of the best water in the BVI.
Okay. Yeah. What was that upbringing like for you? You have been surrounded by some stalwart men who have channeled and done some really amazing things, not only in politics but business. What has it been like growing up around your uncles and just a really close-knit family?
Well, it's been more or less a pleasure for me. I more or less like to learn from who I'm around. Mm-hmm. My father is more or less one of the idols I look up to. Mm-hmm. More or less, other than him, my brothers or even my uncles.
Okay.
My father was a very hard-working man. From early in the morning, late in the night. Even if a friend comes by and asks for a favor, he's always willing to help anyone in the neighborhood. Even up to my friends growing up too. If they broke a frame on their bicycle or any part, he would just fix it for free.
Amazing.
Like, my uncles too, one of them came from away, my uncle Julian. Mm-hmm. And he more had a broad perspective on the world and would teach me a lot when I came to him and talked to him. I lost uncle at a very young age as well, my uncle Noel. Okay. I was very close with him, but he was more of a naturalist.
Okay.
Taught me to climb trees, about bush animals, feeding them, catching them, things like that.
Amazing.
So he was more on the construction side and live off the land side. So I get a well-rung of all of my uncles.
I see that you got pretty much all perspectives of life.
Oh yeah.
I think it's important, and that's why I take pleasure in highlighting where my guests are from, because in our small knit community, it's important, I think, to just let the people know from whence you came, as the old people would say, who you're from, or who you're for. And you have definitely had that strong family foundation. But what's unique about it is you had and still have that family support, and you've taken it into your own personal life. You are a father, a husband. Delani is really the person that you call for just about anything, whether it's to fix something, you don't know how something is gonna turn out, and you need his expert opinion. He is the person that you called. Family and faith. I don't know if you necessarily had that in mind, but I want to talk about you now having a family of your own and being that person for everyone. What is that like?
Why I more see having a family now as the meaning of life. That's how I describe it. Before, I have some friends, I would say to them, like, man, you're single, you don't have a life right now. They ask me, what I mean by that? Like, well, you more or less free as a bird. You can do whatever, whenever, however.
Yeah.
But now when you have a family now, you have a lot to think about. You have a lot of people that you're responsible for. Me now, more or less, the love of being a husband. Like, don't get me wrong, being a husband is not for everybody.
Facts.
And it's for some.
Yeah.
But even if it's a girlfriend or whatever you choose, being a husband to me was knowing now, okay, one of the best days of my life was when I got married. Now known to the world as Mr. and Mrs. Delani Fraser.
Fraser forever.
So yeah, Fraser forever. Exactly. So now more or less basically I have my own family. And it's a pleasure for me to know I have my own family. I'm Mr. Fraser. That's my wife, Jolice Fraser. These are my children, Zach and Jody. And now the whole life perspective is different. I live for them.
Absolutely.
Whatever I have right now, or I acquire, land, a house, a business, even if you get life insurance, whatever assets I build, I get it so that when my children grow up, they have it already. They don't need anything. Well, hopefully they won't need anything else. But they're already set in a way in life that when if they need a house, they have a house already. That's my house. They could have my apartment. They could have my land. They have a head start in life.
Absolutely.
Because that's what my family, my mother and my father did for me. They gave me opportunities. They made me well-rounded. They gave me exposure. Exposure is very important. So that's where you know what you could choose from what you want or from what you don't want in life.
I could not agree with you more, and I can relate now more than ever. Almost 4 years into marriage, and it really puts life into perspective. More so when you have a little one that is looking up to you. You know, at 4 in the morning, it doesn't matter what time, or you're leaving the house, and sometimes you have to sneak out, as we were talking about before, because you know they're running behind you. But it's a joy and a privilege to be able to serve your family in that capacity.
Yeah.
I have to talk about the balance of fatherhood, because it takes a lot. We have our 9-to-5s, and then of course you and Jolice are partners. Her baby, I would say, she's the culinary, the expert behind it. But what I love about it is that you're so supportive, and it's a team. Tell us about the balance between fatherhood and family life, and then entrepreneurship. And then I want us to talk and tell the people about Gold Plated.
Well, there's a balance where you have a partner. Me and my wife, we basically sit down together and we know we talk about where we want to go in life, and how we're going to go about it. Not because we're in a relationship or in a marriage. That doesn't mean, well, people have this concept that it means she cannot do anything unless I say so, or I cannot do anything unless she says so.
Speak to that. Yeah.
But why I say that is a relationship is when two people come together. Now, when two lives come together, that doesn't mean your life ends and this other person's life ends. You're bringing them together so you can join them together. My life, more or less, I wanted to take the path of being a rescue and fire officer.
Yes.
And I more or less halfway or almost through that part of my life. And right now, she has found a passion in her life in culinary arts. So having a relationship, you talk with your other half and you come together with them. I already meet my half of my expectations as to where I want to be. And now she's on that pathway now. So it's only right we talk, we sat down, and I help her along her journey. And I am taking so much pleasure seeing her grow. She went to college. She decided this office job thing, it isn't my passion.
Yeah.
Yes, I can do it, but I'm not in love with it. She's a hell of a cook. People ask me all the time, like, what? How come you ain't fat? You eat so much food, but like how?
Yeah.
Well, fire and rescue is not an easy job as well. So that helps with a lot of not being fat. But all food is so delicious. Her being a culinary art, she not only know how to cook, she also knows how to portion it. So she also has me on a nutritional diet as well.
Ah, I see. I see.
She feeds me in portion, which is I don't really like it.
That's
Because
honest.
the food tastes so good. But she doesn't know I goes and take out some here and there.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah.
But the balance in it, I say that to say this. The balance in it is when you have a passion for your other half, you are willing to go the ends of the earth to make them happy.
I totally understand. Yeah.
It's just like also having a child. When you can see them grow. Because seeing her get her associate's degree and higher learning in education and what she's learning and how hard she's pushing to achieve those goals. And you along with her, like, listen, keep going. You almost have this. You look the finish line right there, as hard as it gets. I have to point my work too, even if it's watching the children, because I had to do a lot of that while she's studying or even taking online classes during the pandemic and things like that. But when you know all of that is done and she have reached halfway through her goal, it'll feel so good. I think I was more happier than her when she got her degree at the college.
I totally agree. Yeah.
I also take so much pleasure, well, she's the boss, more or less, in Gold Plate Cuisine.
Tell us about Gold Plate Cuisine.
Gold Plate Cuisine, oh man. Gold Plate Cuisine is her baby. Our baby, but more her baby.
Understood.
I am following her to her goal as to being a culinary artist and a master chef, having her own business and putting her creation and her food, her product out there. Me, as a partner, right now her business is building to get more employees. So until then, I don't mind humbling myself and being one of her employees, because I know the quality of service that she wants to give to her clientele. So I don't, well, you probably experienced it one time before. Even if it's a child, I would put on my best serve, my best, what can I say? My best performance in learning what the meal is that I'm serving you, which she doesn't play around. She makes me know what's in the food, what sauce, what's the sauce made of, whether it's red wine, white wine sauce, whether it's a Parmesan, or whether it's steak, shrimp, even if it's shrimp from Africa, Angus beef, things like that.
Well, I have to say, because I've experienced gold plate service before, and let me tell you guys, Delani, and he's absolutely right because he don't play. He comes out and he exemplifies service. He knows the products. He is great with people, I think, in really meeting the need and the service. But I'm so happy to hear you say and express that level of satisfaction and gratification in seeing your spouse rise to the occasion and accomplish something. I have experienced it myself, both in seeing my wife get her master's degree, and I was there every step of the way. And when she got the degree, she had to remind me that it was her degree because I was so friggin' excited.
I know, right?
That she finally, accomplished it.
Yeah,
and then
man.
also too, in opening our business, Brilliant Hands and Minds is my wife's brainchild. She's been an educator for almost 20 years.
Yes.
I did teaching for 3 years and realized, it's not my kind of thing. Step back. But having her express, hey, there are a lot of students out here that need assistance and they're not being met. I've been wanting and thinking about opening a center for so long. And it just gives you so much joy to make it happen.
Yeah.
So I can appreciate that so much.
Definitely. But yeah, Brilliant Mind is a great school.
Well, thank you.
My daughter has been there.
Thank you so much.
She expressed a lot of good things about it.
I appreciate
We
it.
will
Now,
be back again.
I have to talk about, we talked about the men in your life and how influential they were. But I have to talk about your mom, the amazing, a beautiful soul, Mrs. Beverly Fraser. And you recently lost her, but I have never seen such a mother-son duo, in that the love and the admiration that you both had for each other was very visible and undescribable. Talk to us about how important it was for you to have such a beautiful soul in the person of a mother, see you grow up, see you become a man, see you have a family of your own, see you create a legacy. Tell us about that. Tell us about the relationship.
Well, my relationship with my mother is unexplainable. Why I say that is, I never hid anything from my mother. Well, of course, there would be a few things, but I would always be open with my mother. That's just my spirit. But she always exposed me to everything. She paved the way for a lot of things in my life. Where I can get to that point is she would take me and my brothers everywhere. She did not like any of us or to be stagnant at all. She always felt to be stagnant was to just not live life. I've heard the saying before where she would ask me, are you living or are you existing?
Wow.
At a young age, it didn't really click yet, but I came back to her and I understood what she meant. When you're existing, you're just here. You're just here, basically, for example, you're just in your phone all day. You're just home playing video games.
It's a lot of us.
You just walk and then back home, and that's it. But when you living for me and through her was taking me all over the BVI. When I tell you all over. From West End, Frenchman's Key by Kelly's Bar. She had some long life family there. And I grew up around them Every Christmas, they had a Christmas party. Every year we go there and have fun and celebrate. And look, seafood. I could tell you, they're strong on this seafood. We would leave there. I would go Carrot Bay with her, learn the culture. It's not, she teaching me a lot was like even about family too. Family is not just what child you make or what mother or brother you gain. Family can be friends as well.
Absolutely.
Family is more important than money or valuables. Family, you could lose your money, you could lose all your valuables, you could lose your house, everything. But when you have family, you don't have nothing to worry about. And that's also having strong faith in God as well. God will put your family there for you. And this meaning that family there for you is when you lose everything, you could be on the street as poor. One of those family member, or who you would even least think, they would always make sure you get something to eat.
Yes.
They would always make sure you have clothes for you to have, instead of being around in dirty clothes. One of those people would say, hey, look at apartment here. Let's get you a job. Or come work for me for a little while. I know your mother. I know your father. I know your brother. Come do something. That is family. Family would always look out for you. That's one thing I love about the BVI so much. I had many opportunities to move away to the United States. Not saying it cannot happen there as well, but home is where the heart is. I die hard BVI lander. I love her so much. I love my mother so much because she exposed me to so much family and friends here.
Amazing. When you think of the legacy that is your mom, one of the things that I think is so important, and I think we should all try our best to encompass as we traverse through life, is really expressing and saying how much persons mean to us while we have the opportunity. Having observed your relationship with your mom, I know that that was the case. But in a nutshell, you've lost her physically, but she's always with you. What do you think she would be most proud of? Or perhaps was most proud of, because she got to see you accomplish quite a bit. She was at your wedding, home ownership, she was there. What do you think she was most proud of? Delani.
I would more say the fact that she asked me where I see myself in 10 years. And of course, being a youngin', the first thing you would say is car, boat, money. She said, no, those things are valuable. Like, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Like, what you really want to do, what you want to accomplish? Where's your line of sight, where you're going? All of those things I already accomplished. And I know I have closure, being that my mother is not here anymore, because I would always tell her I love her. She knows I gave myself to the Lord. I'm a Christian. I got married. I had children. I have a home. I told her I wanted to be working fire and rescue. I work in fire and rescue. I'm also a crew commander right now at the moment, moving up in the ranks. Like, I'm very content in life.
Good.
Because right now, it's just another chapter to open. And I know she's always been very proud of me.
Amazing.
She's also proud that I don't think I ever let her down.
Nice.
Because when I say that, my mother was so important to me that everywhere I went, it's like, wait a minute, you look familiar, use Beverly Bay. It's like, oh, geez, can't get away with nothing now. Man, I know your mother, that's a lovely woman, good soul. So, at first I used to feel like a burden.
Right.
Like, man, I have to live up to this expectation. But seeing the joy when you come back home, and she told me what you were doing in town at this time. How you know I was in town? Or what you were doing here? How you know I was? Well, I ran into my friend, and she said she met you. I met your son. He's such a pleasant boy. Oh, bye. I see him in a tree. Oh, you ain't afraid you'll fall down? And he gave me some genneps or he gave me some mangoes. I thought that was so nice. So having that family figure and having that legacy to carry on, it kept me out of trouble.
Amazing. Yeah.
I must say it kept me out of trouble. It kept me well grounded, easy to get in trouble.
I am really honored and happy to say that, to hear you say that you don't think you've ever let your mom down. I think that is an amazing accomplishment. I have on many occasions, and it's absolutely broken my heart. But I think in retrospect, even for those of us who may have broken our mom's or parents' heart in whatever way, the recovery is very important. One of the things that I encourage persons to do when they come for interviews, and they would say, well, how you do that so easy and how you do that? And I said, it's not that you don't make mistakes, you know. It's you're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall and bust your ass,
Yeah.
okay? Guarantee you. I'm just going to let you know that. You're going to fall. It's the recovery that's important. It's the how you pick up and how you move forward. So while I can't say that I've never disappointed them, because I have many times, I am honored to say that the recovery. So kudos to you, man. I have to talk to you about your service to the BVI community, and we're almost out of time, but you are in aviation, fire and rescue. How did you even get into firefighting?
Well, like I said before, I always wanted to be a fire and rescue officer at a young age. I got into it. I applied at Rotown Fire and Rescue over and over. Sitting at home, fresh out of high school. But like I said, I had tough parents. They came home, they dropped some bills, pick one, because you can't just sit at home. So that also made me well grounded in the sense that I had to get a job until I get to where I wanted to go. Where I started at the BVI post office. Love the post office family. Always. And the job opportunity came about where a close friend of mine, Lance McIntosh, his brother informed him that there was an opening at the Aviation Fire Rescue of Beef Island. I myself wanted to know what that was. Like, I thought it was only domestic, which is the red.
Yeah.
And as he told me that on my lunch break, I rented a scooter from Roger Smith down Seacoast Bay. And I straight up there, fill out the application and applied for the job. Little did I know, lots of tools that my family, my mother and my father provided for me, in a sense of all those summer programs that took up your Saturday mornings. I couldn't stand them because I just wanted to stay home and watch cartoons. It already groomed me for the job, already long time. Knots and lines, swimming, track, like heavy lifting, knowing how to swim, dive, things like that. That's how I began in our fire and rescue department.
Amazing. Well, I want to congratulate you on that level of service towards the BVI community, because it's not an easy role. I don't think that it is, and I wish persons would understand when it comes to that level of service, it takes everything out of you. But you, like many of the other young men in the fire and rescue, in different departments of that service, continue to contribute. We appreciate you. You continue to do what you're doing, and Delani, continue to be a distinguished gentleman, because we respect you and we appreciate you very much. And most importantly, thank you for coming to the set and chatting with me.
Man, I appreciate it. I thought I would have started small, like Oprah or something like that. But this show, I love this show.
Appreciate you. Viewers, that's all the time we have. We're here with the one and only, the man himself, Delani Fraser. We'll see you next week.